Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back playing some FTB Infinity for episode 47. Now, last episode we set up a couple of machines from BiblioCraft 2, the scanner, the pattern storage, and the replicator, and these were set up to allow us to duplicate all of the iridium that we currently had. And if we look ahead in our replicator here, we now have a full stack of iridium, which is pretty freaking awesome. For now, I'm going to go ahead and take, actually I might as well just take the full stack out of here. You will notice that I also went ahead and rearranged this room just a little bit. I moved all of this stuff over here right back to the back wall over there, and I also went ahead and added another molecular assembler and added a few more of these ME interfaces around each molecular assembler, because for those who don't know, you can actually have up to 6 ME interfaces on each molecular assembler, each one adding, I think 9 extra crafting slots for the molecular assembler, which adds in turn 9 extra crafting recipes that this thing can accomplish. And if we go ahead and look in this ME interface, you'll see that I've already started adding some of my own, and that is because last episode we mentioned that the solar panels from the advanced solar panel mod, this one over here, requires a lot of stuff, and it is a real pain in the backside to try and craft manually. So I would like, if possible, to auto-craft as much of this process as is possible, and I got quite far. If we go ahead and have a look, we have things like the iridium glass panes, we have the advanced alloys, we have the coal already. Glass is fairly easy. The generator we already had. Most of it was pretty much already done. The hardest part was the circuits, and that is because we don't have any rubber. Now, in the past, when this problem arose, I would just run outside, cut down a couple of rubber trees, and that would be fine. We could just go back inside, smelt it all up, and everything would be great. However, if we want to automate stuff, that's not really a possibility unless I'm just going to be constantly running backwards and forwards, and become part of the automation, which is not really what I want. So, what we're going to do today, what we're going to start with, is by making a rubber tree farm. And a bunch of people have suggested this for like the longest time now. A ton of people suggested that I do it with the tree farm up on the roof, which is, for those who don't know, that one over there. We can also use like an MFR planter and harvester to do it, but today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to use the farming station from Ender.io, which acts as kind of a planter and a harvester. It both plants and harvests the trees, which is pretty awesome. It's fairly expensive. It requires 4 electric steel, which I don't think we have. We don't, but we should be able to make fairly easily with some coal, some silicon, and some pulverized coal. And of course, by that I mean iron, silicon, and pulverized coal. We will go ahead and request probably about 20 of those for the time being. Let's grab some iron, and let's go ahead and grab ourselves some silicon, which we may or may not have. We have 3, which is actually the perfect amount. So we'll go ahead and throw you in there, and you in there, and that should start to make us some stuff, which is nice. I'm going to take the capacitor out of there. I'm going to throw it into here. We should really go ahead and make a capacitor for each of those. Let's do that real quick. Do we have what it takes? We do not. Oh, that's why I don't make it, because we don't have the energetic alloy. What does this need? Redstone, gold, and glowstone. I'm going to make this because I'm fed up of moving that one double layer capacitor backwards and forwards. Redstone, gold, and glowstone. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and throw these in here once this is done. Boom, boom, and I'll throw 1 in because we only really need 1. Don't want to be wasting too many resources, and then we can go ahead and throw you in there, and we should be able to get ourselves... Well, we can't get the farming station, but we can get the first part of the farming station. We then need a diamond hoe, which should be fairly easy. We have a ton of diamonds now, which is pretty nice. A machine chassis, which is common for every machine in Ender.io. We then need 2 of these pulsating crystals, which are made by surrounding a diamond with pulsating iron nuggets. Do we have any pulsating iron? We do not. This stuff is fairly easy to make, actually. It is just an iron and an ender pearl in the alloy smelter. So again, we will grab ourselves some ender pearls, like so, and then we should be able to do something like this. While it's doing that, let's go ahead and make ourselves that double layer capacitor so we don't have to worry about it ever again. Double layer, that's not how you spell double, Isaac, double layer capacitor. Let's make this guy. Ta-da! And we can throw that in there. And now it's good. Now these two machines are both running at the same speed, which is nice. We can take those out. I will leave that running because it's nice to have a little bit of a backlog of pulsating iron, but we'll take that. 18 is more than enough for what we need today. And then if we jump back over to the farming station, we should be able to make 2 of those. Nice. Now, the final piece of the puzzle for the farming station is this guy down here, the Geologic Controller, which, if you don't happen to have your own slice and splice already made, thankfully we do. So, if we go ahead and look in here again, the Geologic Controller is made using 2 solarium ingots, 1 zombie head, 2 more silicon, and a redstone. I think we taught our system how to make silicon. However, I am completely just lying to you there. Our system does not know how to make silicon. So, we'll go ahead and throw some sand into the SeNtiMeL. That should give us a 50% chance with each of these to actually get some silicon. I'm just going to leave. Actually, no, I'm not, because we're probably going to need some glass at some point in the future. We should now have enough. Let's grab some silicon. Let's see if we have any solarium. We do not. I believe it's just soul sand and gold, if I remember correctly. Yeah, soul sand and gold. Okay, we'll throw one of you in there. Please stop with this now. Thank you. And we'll just do that. That should fix itself fairly quickly. And then finally, we need a redstone. And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. So silicon, silicon. Let's grab some redstone. Let's grab a zombie head, which we probably should have. We do. Good stuff. We'll take you as well. We'll throw that in there. We already have the tools in here from when we previously used this machine. And we are pretty much good to go. We'll throw you there. We'll take 2... Oh, pfft. Make sure you take all of your pulsating iron out of the alloy smelter before you try and make new things in the alloy smelter. But we should then almost be good to go. We'll put that in there. And we're done. Nice. Okay, let's take that. You can go in there. That's going to go ahead and make us a Geologic Controller. And then we should be able to do something. Pause for suspense. Like this. Boom, boom, farming station. Nice. So this thing is, it has its positives and it has its negatives. It's pretty good at the fact that it plants and harvests at the same time. Now it's pretty bad at the fact that it requires a constant stream of tools because it actually breaks the doability of the tools that you put in it in order to, say, cut down the trees. So over here we have a couple of cables from the new thermodynamics. Behind here we have redstone flux ducts meeting up to some fluctuating item ducts which can carry both items and redstone flux. And then we have some more item ducts going out to over here where we will probably have barrels for the rubber saplings, the rubber tree saplings, and the rubber logs. No, we're going to need a 4th barrel, I think. That's fine. We can go ahead and work on that in just a second. What the heck is the world's biggest blue slime doing near our house? Get out of here. There we go. Okay, so this guy's going to go right about there. We can then go ahead and cover this up because we don't really need it anymore. So we'll go ahead and just do something like this. Didn't really want that, but that's C, by the way. If you want to do crafting when you're not inside your base, very nice little crafting kit that we don't really need. And then what we need to do now is actually put a tool into this thing. So I'm not sure if these work. Apparently they do, so I will take that. Let's grab some rubber tree saplings. I will take all of those. Be careful not to use the mega or sacred rubber tree saplings. They make rubber trees that are really, 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 really big. And in case of the sacred rubber tree sapling, can actually destroy your world, so be careful when using those. And if we put them down in this slot, it's going to go ahead and throw them all down. And then once they grow, it's going to cut them all down, take the saplings, the rubber logs, the rubber, and that's it. And it's going to put the saplings back in here if it can. And then if it can't, it's going to stick them in the output slot, which we are then going to configure to go out the bottom. We can set it to push. And I think that should then push it through the item ducts and over to this side over here. So, to quickly test this, let's grab some barrels. And by that, I mean let's make some barrels, because of course we don't have any. That would be far too easy. Let's do this and go with some chests. And of course we don't have any of those. That would be, again, far too easy. Let's get rid of you. Let's just do this. Let's grab a couple of stacks of oak wood so we have some for the future. And then we should be good to go. We'll take 2 of you, 1, 2, 3, and we'll go like this, 1, 2, 3. For now, I think we're going to need a 4th one, possibly. But this should work for the time being. Barrel, barrel, and barrel. And then if we grab some bone meal and do something like this, it should detect it. It should cut it down. Actually, it cuts them down all at once, which is really cool. I say that as it doesn't cut them down all at once. And then what it should do is it's put all those into the output slot, and they will slowly make their way over to these barrels. And eventually, they are pretty slow. Oh, that's not what I want to do. There's the rubber wood. There's the rubber. and we should eventually see rubber saplings forming in here if we happen to get too many rubber saplings in the farming station here. Once all of these slots fill up, we will go ahead and I think locking this means that it won't use the last one. I'm not gonna lie, I'm guessing there. I've had this problem with the farming station before where it will use up the last one in the slot and then this one will just be left empty and you'll have like a full quadrant of your farming station area just not covered at all. So I'm gonna assume that locking it means that you can't. I'm assuming that locking it means that it's not going to use the last one in a stack there. Somebody in the comment section can tell me if I'm right there. I think that is how that works. But you'll notice that it does use up durability of the axe. At the minute, it's at 233 out of 512. If we do that, you can see it's gone down to 227 out of 512. So we will have to replenish that axe every so often. What I'll probably do is teach our system how to make cobblestone axes and then just stick an export bus on top of this thing with a crafting card in it. So every time it runs out of axes here, it'll just go ahead and craft itself up another cobblestone axe and then send it through to there, and everything should be good. So let's go ahead and take some of that rubber. Let's get it smelted up. What we should really do, I think, if we wanted to automate this nicely, is stick an import bus on the bottom of this barrel, and then probably teach our AE system how to smelt rubber into the rubber bars, which we could actually do fairly easily. I think we have a furnace somewhere that's automated, right? Really? Wow, okay, so what we should probably do at some point is actually set up a furnace so that we can teach it smelting recipes, because right now, we actually don't have one of those. We could, I guess, teach it to this, but that's a bit of a pain because there's like a whole bunch of stuff that happens when it's not in all smelting mode, or it's in alloy mode and stuff like that. So for now, we will just take this, we will throw it into here, and then we should be able to finish teaching our system how to make the advanced solar panels. So, we have pretty much everything. We now need to teach it how to make these electronic circuits, which we can do like that. I don't think... Oh, no, we already know how to make circuits. Okay, quick tip, shift right click to clear a pattern like that. We need to teach it how to make these guys like that, which requires one of these. So we'll go ahead and click next and start. That should go ahead and start to make pretty much everything in the process. If we go ahead and look up here, and it's just not gonna... Oh, wait. Oh, did it do it really fast? Yeah, it's done. Okay, we'll teach you how to make the advanced circuits there. We will throw that in like so. So now this machine knows how to make the advanced circuits. And then I think that's pretty much it, apart from this iridium reinforced plate, which is made like this, which requires one of these iridium ingots. Now, these are actually fairly easy to make. It is just compressing the normal iridium ore that we have there. So let's go ahead and take one of our iridium ore and do something like this. We're going to teach you that iridium ore, we're going to change it over to processing because this is not a crafting recipe. This is happening in a machine. Iridium ore equals iridium ingots when they are put through the compressor like this. And we should really again work on some more overclockers for all of our machines, because when they don't have overclockers, they are really, 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 really slow. So let's take this guy. That should get us an iridium ingot. Come on, you can do this. You can also use redstone for power, by the way. He put them back straight into the system because this is set to automatically output to the top, which automatically outputs to the ME interface and sends everything back through to here. So we should be able to then go ahead and grab iridium ingots and teach you that that equals that in code and put that in the interface over the compressor, like so. And then we should now be able to teach you how to make these plates down here, like so, when we want to change that back to crafting in code. Then we want to teach you how to make this thing here, which is missing a couple of things, including carbon plates, pretty much exclusively carbon plates. Carbon plate, which I have not taught my system how to make. No, that does bring me to another point, actually. We had to stop the coal going into our oven downstairs. This thing over here, the steam boiler, we had to stop the coal going into there because it was just using too much coal. We had no coal left to make like the coal dust and all the other stuff. Thankfully, we've got a lot more since then. I turned it off only last night, so we got 1,000 more by now, which is pretty nice, but I just thought I'd have to tell you that there. We are going to have to think of something else to put into the steam boiler, or we're going to have to figure out a way to massively increase our coal production, but that's fine. We'll come to that in the next episode. This is made using this. Now, do we have any of those recipes stored? We do not. So, let's start by teaching our AE system how to make the carbon fiber, these things here. We'll teach you how to make that in code, and then we will teach it how to make... It's going to be faster to go this way. we'll teach you how to compress them up. We need to teach you how to craft that, which does require us to have some in the first place. So, let's try this again. Let's make 2 of you. Let's then go ahead and do this. Actually, let's take those and teach you the crafting recipe. Boom, boom. Encode. So it now knows how to make those. And if we throw those into here, and now we got to start using this one because the bottom one there is out of space. Let's go ahead and grab you. Like this. And then we're going to have to do another compressor recipe where we go ahead and turn just back to processing, stick you down like so, and then go ahead and compress this thing up. And then it should know then how to make those plates, which will be pretty good. Did that go into there? I don't think it did at all. Let's see. Carbon. Let's try that again. Yeah, and then after that, we should be good to go. I'm not quite sure why that ran out of power before. For some reason, this has stopped working. I might have to go ahead and move the pump in the nether. We have used a ton of lava, by the way, guys. Like, far too much lava, to the point where this setup is probably not going to be valid for all that much longer, because we have used a lot of lava around our portal in the nether, to the point where we're, like, hundreds of blocks away where we're gathering lava. It's pretty insane. But let's go ahead and let's see if we can make a few of... Oh, no! No, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do. I want to get another one of... Why are you not showing up? Let me try this. Yeah, for some reason, stuff in that one doesn't want to show up all that often. But let's take that, and then let's grab that carbon ball. Let's stick it down in there. Let's grab the actual carbon plate. And stick that in there. And again in code. Nice. Okay, so it now knows how to make the carbon plates. We will again throw that over. That's not where I want it to go now, is it? Carbon plates. You cannot shift right-click into the ME interface. You have to place it in specifically, mainly because you didn't grab the encoded pattern. If you happen to do the encoded pattern thing right, I think you can go ahead and shift right-click there. Okay, it has been far too long. Let's see here. Do we have everything it takes to make this thing? I think we're pretty much there. Let's see. You... encode like that. For that, we are going to have to get ourselves the first plate. So let's go ahead and request one of those. That shouldn't take too long. That should be pretty much near instant to make. And it's not. Let's see here. What's it doing? It's making... Oh, okay. It's making the iron plates. And then it's crafting up one of the iridium, which is going to take forever over in... Actually, if we do this, it should make it a bit faster. Which is taking forever over in the compressor over there. That is now done. Let's go like this, and encode. We don't want to do that. We want to go back to the crafting. Let's take you. And then finally, let's do that. And for that, we are, of course, going to need the recipe for the iridium plates. You can go in there. That's a long crafting recipe. We're probably also going to have to go ahead and upgrade our crafting storage. We have a 1K crafting storage right now, which is not the best at making all of this stuff. This is actually going to take a while to make everything. And once it's done, we should have ourselves our first reinforced iridium plate. Also, this kind of just shows how much we have to go around and upgrade all of our machines, because right now, everything's pretty slow. You can see this is moving fairly slowly to make the tin plates. These things are all moving fairly slowly over here. This guy is running fast enough, but when you're making massive amounts of coal dust, he's running fairly slowly. So that is quite a lot of stuff that we're gonna have to worry about. Did I teach you how to make the normal default solar panels? I don't think we did. So can we do that real quick? We can if we happen to have coal dust, which for some reason we don't, and that's probably because all of it's being used in this thing right here. Let's go ahead and request a few more real quick. Oh, I will request a few more actually, because I think that's gonna break the crafting recipe here if I take that out. Or not. Maybe. I don't know. Is he going to break it? Let's just take some more. To be safe, we will take some more. We'll throw that in there. That should get us some more coal dust. I'm fine with throwing a stack of that in there. We have quite a bit of coal now, which is pretty nice. And then we should be able to do this. Encode. And now our system knows how to make solar panels. And finally, the last step is to teach it how to make the advanced solar panels. And I told you this recipe was a pain in the backside. But once it is done, we will be able to request these just on demand and just make them whenever we want, which will be pretty flippin' awesome. Is this almost done? It is not. It is pretty much the opposite of almost done. So I'm going to go away, guys. I'm going to wait for this thing to finish. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so again, a really long time later, actually a lot longer than I thought this was going to take. I've now taught our system how to make the advanced machine casing, so we're going to go ahead and throw that into one of our interfaces over here. And the reason why I had to make that is because I completely forgot that we need one of these sonarium pieces, which is made in a molecular transformer, in order to make our advanced solar panel. Now, this thing is pretty expensive, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and request 4 of these advanced machine casings. So, we are missing reinforced iron plates. Does our system not know how to make reinforced iron plates? It does not. That is made by putting steel into the thingamajig. So, let's just teach it real quick that this equals one of these in the metal former. Jeez. And we also have a massive backlog of ore in here now because this thing, it doesn't have the alter output upgrade, so we've got that to fix. Let's grab our reinforced iron plate. That's not that. I did that right. Right? Right? Maybe? What does that equal? I was fairly certain putting a steel ingot into the metal former made... it makes the Anyway, we'll teach our system that's how that works, and then we'll encode that and stick it over there, and now we should be able to request some advanced machine casing. And now, whether or not we have enough, like, crafting space, we do it, only use 600 bytes. Start that. That's going to take about 4.5 days. Whilst that's doing that, we can go ahead and make some of this other stuff. I think we have pretty much everything we need to make this EV transformer. Let's go ahead and take 2 of those, if we happen to have enough, we need, gold cable. Okay, let's take 4 gold cable. Thank goodness we have enough, and then we should be able to go ahead and make 2 of those if we happen to have a flippin' circuit lying around, which of course we don't. Why would we have a circuit? That would be far, far too easy. And unfortunately, due to the fact that this thing is also crafting 1,000,001 advanced machine casing and doing 1,000,001 different things, we can't request any advanced circuits or any even normal circuits to make this work. So again, guys, I'm going to go away real quick here. We could probably make the Lapotron crystal because that thing is probably the most expensive part of all of this. And we need more circuits, so I'm going to go away, guys. I'm going to wait until this thing has finished crafting all this stuff up. I'm then going to go ahead and craft the molecular assembler, and I'll be back in a second. And finally, again, far too long later, we've now got ourselves 2 thick neutrino plates. So, if we go ahead and do something like this, and then request some of this, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and of course, we're missing Tinker's alloys and glass. Oh, okay, sand. Told you we need that sand later on in the episode. Let's go ahead and start smelting that up into actual usable stuff. We then need to get ourselves, what was it? Other stuff? Things? We need glass. Okay, glass. No, we've got glass. We needed, what do we need? Tinker's alloy. Okay, we needed bronze. Okay, let's see. Let's grab some copper. And let's grab some tin, which we already have. That should allow us to go ahead and do something like this. I'll get some more Tinker's alloy. We should really teach our system how to make this on its own. But for now, let's do this. Get some glass, throw that in there, and do something like this. I'm not quite sure how much we're missing, but can we make 6 of these? We can. Let's start that process. Hopefully it's not too long of a process, although it could take like 4.5 billion days at the speed our machine's going at. All the while we're getting attacked by like ravenous flipping witch cats, which are just all over the place, wowing constantly. I have no idea where the heck they come from, but we are almost there. My gosh, this is like the most expensive thing that I have ever had to build in my whole entire life, but we are almost there. Let's see, circuits, we can go ahead and request a few of those in a second once we're done with this little crafting recipe we're doing right now, which should be almost there. Possibly. Is that it? Is it done? It's done. Okay, let's go ahead and request ourselves 2 more advanced circuits to start, and we're missing rubber. That's fine. We can go ahead and get some rubber fairly easily. As a matter of fact, we have 43 rubber on us. Let's request 2 advanced circuits. 1, 2, and start. That's going to go do that thing. We should now be able to go ahead and make this, which is the empty core, and then we should, once this is done, making its second advanced circuit, be able to make ourselves a flippin' molecular transformer. Thank goodness. And now, we'll go ahead and throw this down, I think like there, I guess, for now. Look at this thing. Look at it! My gosh. Okay, so it's got a cool blue interface, and this is basically going to turn glowstone into 1 sonarium piece, once it receives 1,000,000 EU. 1,000,000 EU. These things aren't even on, and when they are on, they produce 20 EU per tick. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 200 EU per tick. We need 1,000,000. This could take a while, guys. Let me quickly here show you before we wrap up where our lava pump is at in the nether. We'll go ahead and just jump on over here. Sometimes it just needs a bit of a refreshing. Sometimes when we go to the nether and look at the lava pump, it just fills up and then keeps working. But for some reason, sometimes it doesn't. So you can see we have used a lot of the lava that is around us here. And that is a wisp that I do not want to fight. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This is how much stuff we've used. Oh my gosh, what's this? Oh, it's a phantom. Get out of here, phantoms. What the heck are you guys after? Do you not realize that I have draconic armor that prevents you from doing, like, anything? There we go. I gotta say, a wrath shot. Get out of here. Get the fudge. My gosh, you know, the nether is a scary place. Full of spiders and guys who don't realize what draconic armor is. Alright, let's... Oh, we've got so much stuff. I need to get rid of some junk. Let's get rid of that. Ender pearls aren't all that valuable. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's move this thing. And do we have a crescent hammer? We do. That thing's actually full of power, which is nice. And we're out of juice. Oh, come on now. Come on. Okay, let's do that. Let's do this. And then we just need to move it over like by another 1,000,000,000 blocks. And once we get over to here, I think this looks like a nice place for now. Careful not to drop stuff into the lava. We'll put down the endothermic pump. We'll put down the ender tank right there. We'll get our conduits back out. We'll put the lava thing back down like that. That should just work by default. Then we'll go boom, boom. And everything should start working again. It's going to slowly work its way through all of the lava in the nether over on this side. And now, if we head back to the overworld, we should really set up some kind of faster way to traveling to and from the nether. A lot of people have suggested Mistcraft books. We probably will look into that at some point in the future, because this nether portal is fairly slow. But if we head back, we should start to... Oh, I do not want you to blow up, but you blew up anyway. We should start to see some lava coming back to our system, some EU being generated in these geothermal generators. And look at this thing. It's actually going ahead and doing stuff. It's getting about 150 EU per tick. It's actually not going to take it that long. It's at 10% already, so it should be done by next episode. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. And also bear in mind, this is for each individual one of these advanced solar panels. We need one piece of solarium, so that could take a flipping heck of a long time. And we need a lot more EU per tick being generated in order for this to get anywhere near fast. But again, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit like, and I will see you guys next time for episode 48 of Feed the Beast Infinity.